Excellent. All right. Let's get a few things ready here. Whereabouts in Bulleen do you live?
Just off Tom.
Turnover, Cameron strikes back.
Oh my goodness, how great was that?
Finds an option cross court. Wayrun pops up for three and jams it in.
They've got a fire from long range. Wickham missing. It's a miracle in the West. What a moment for this young team.
It's a Saturday night special in Perth prime time. A top-of-the-table clash between the Perth Lynx and the UC Capitals. The Lynx are loving being back on their home floor, brimming with confidence after 2 straight wins to take them to first on the WNBL ladder. But tonight they meet a fellow finals-bound team in the Capitals. They'll be without 3 key players themselves, but they still have an array of class, talent and championship experience. It's a mini-finals preview in the penultimate round of the regular season. Maybe, dare we say it, it might even be an early WNBL grand final preview. And it's great to have your company on KO Sports for this classic from the Bendat Basketball Centre. Hello and welcome to our coverage. Ben Waterworth with you. And for a top-of-the-table clash, we thought we'd bring in the absolute superstar. 5-time WNBL champ, former Opals captain, dual Olympic medalist, WNBA star, Michelle Timms. Hello, Timsy.
Thank you. It's a position I'm not used to, coming off the bench and filling a spot, but I'll give it my best shot. I might be a bit rusty, but we'll see how we go.
You've picked a really good night to come
sure
back.
have.
What are you most excited about for this Perth and Capitals team?
Oh, look, I just think it's going to be a great contest. You know, you've got the UC Caps, got their back against their against the wall. They're depleted. But, you know, sometimes good things happen when your chips are down. So, and then we've got, Mabry back, doing what Mabry does in the last game. As soon as she grabbed the ball for the first touch, she ripped it to the hoop. So, look, I'm super excited to see some of the matchups as well.
Well, let's have a look at the ladder, most importantly, heading into this contest, because as we mentioned, it's a top-of-the-table clash. And considering the Perth Lynx still have an extra 2 games to play over the UC Capitals, this is a really important night for the Caps if they really want to try and cement the home court advantage in come the semi-finals time. The semi-finals series being best of 3 series this year. So really important game from that perspective. But also for the Caps as well, they want to try and get one back on the Perth Lynx, because these 2 teams have already played each other twice this season, Timsy, and the Lynx have gotten the better of the Caps both times. First game was 88-69, and then remarkably, the Lynx stumped the Caps 102-73. The Caps never concede a total like 102, so they'll be wanting to try and rectify that tonight, the UC Capitals.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's just, it's bizarre, but every time they play, there's a little bit of adversity that the Caps have had to handle, because, this time they're depleted. The time before, this was a game that just sort of got coughed up out of nowhere as the Caps were preparing to play Sydney. So, it's going to be a good one.
Let's have a look at the Perth team lineup for this game in particular, and they're at full strength. Marina Mabry is named, should be coming off the bench for the 2nd straight game, so Alex Chibatoni gets the start. But pretty handy for you get Marina Mabry coming off the bench, Timsy.
That's unbelievable. But the thing about this team is they're so deep, and everyone plays their role brilliantly.
As we also turn our attention to the UC Capitals, and they're a big story from a personnel perspective tonight. So Michaela Roof out for the rest of the season with that fractured finger, but no Kelly Wilson and no Alex Bunton. The club supporting their decision to remain at home just in case they had to quarantine in some capacity due to COVID while in Western Australia. It means that Alicia Froling and Talia Tapea will start, both starting for the 3rd time this season, but you're really looking for a big game from Brittany Sykes tonight.
Well, I just can't wait. I'm excited about the matchups, the potential matchups. But on screen there, you got Melbourne. I think she's going to play some big minutes and need to do a great job defensively as well as get to the rack, So, and then there's Kelsey Griffin and Froling, who are just going to have to take it at the big girls and play Canberra Capital, brand of basketball, which is blue collar.
Yeah. It was entertaining to watch the UC Work, what an athletic player she is, and what a perfect start to her night. In the top 10, the WNBL across 4 statistics this season. Brittany Sykes. Both of these teams, Perth and the Caps, have won 7 of their past 8 games respectively. So both coming in terrific form. Young, mid-range 2, just off target. Scherf tried to give them a fresh 14 seconds, but the Caps will force to stop.
That was really good D by Tupaia. That's a really good matchup, Tupaia.
Smart's been hot from beyond the arc this season, and that is no exception.
Everybody in the league knows she loves a 3, and that's her spot.
Going at 40% from beyond the arc this season. 36-year-old Brittany Smart revolutionised her game under Paul Goris. Here's Chibatoni working her way towards the inside the key. Scherf fading away and gets the first points for the Lynx.
Gets the monkey off the back.
Just a couple of early shots, Lauren Scherf, but the Star Centre off to a good start. Froling, reversing and scoring. On for her 3rd start this season, Alicia Froling. It's her night off to an excellent start. Beautiful find from Scherf to Chibatoni.
Oh, what a great pass. Chibatoni, got to say, just throwing it out there. Love that surname.
Oh.
Favourite surname in the WNBL.
I don't think you'd have too many arguments from fans out there. Sykes raising up, great elevation. Couldn't get that one to drop, and Whitcomb brings down her first board.
I'm loving Sykes' mentality at the moment.
Young works her way into the key and knocks down the mid-range 2. Hot start.
That's her game. You can't give her that. That's why I thought the Tupaia matchup was good. Tupaia didn't give her any room to get a jumper away.
Here is Talia Tupaia. Hard to imagine, she's just 24 years of age, Talia Tupaia. Still got so much basketball left. Kelsey Griffin still going strong at 34. Gets her first points.
She's the heart and soul of this team. Kelsey Griffin.
Captain leading by example. Speaking of captains, here's Whitcomb. Really upped her game. Pick and roll here with Scherf as foul is called. First one of the game.
We don't want Froling to get in. If you're a Caps fan, you don't want any early foul trouble.
Here's Jackie Young, as Timsy mentioned off the top. Young copped a knee injury against Adelaide a couple of nights ago, but she's got up for this game. She drew in the defence, then got the 2.
Oh, that's not great defence, is it? There's no help at all.
Young with 4 points early stages in this one. But high-scoring start to this one. 17 points within the first 3 minutes. Tupaia, good look for 3. She's been really in good form from beyond the arc. Misses, Griffin gets the rebound and the 2.
And that's what you expect from Griffin.
16 points per game this season. KG 23. Whitcomb gets the screen from Garvin. Gets the pick and roll action working, and Garvin gets the 2.
Well, they're breaking down a little bit early, Canberra Capitals defensively.
A couple of nice finds as well from the Lynx on offense as a result. Foul was called on the Lynx, their first of the game so far. So coming into this game, Perth had won both of the 2 matches between these 2 sides earlier this season. But prior to that, the Caps had actually won 8 on the trot against the Lynx. A pretty good run. So able to flip the script somewhat in the 2022 season. Sykes for Smart. Draws the foul. These 2 Lynx went to defend her.
Yeah, that's good. They've got to attack the rim, and in doing so, Whitcomb gets a quick foul.
Britt Smart heading to the free throw line, a 67% free throw shooter. 8 times this season, hit 10 points or more.
It's pretty low free throw shooting percentage.
Yep.
You know who you'll be fouling at the end of the game,
yeah.
Although she just got 2 in.
There's Marina Mabry, waste no time. She's out of the court for the Perth Lynx. Chibatoni still out there.
It was about the same time, 4 minutes in, or probably 6 minutes in the last game she came in the first quarter. But boy, she lit it up. She did not waste any time.
No.
She's a little slow back defensively, but offensively, boy, she hasn't missed a beat.
3 of 6 from deep the other night, Marina Mabry.
And a huge one at the end of the game in the last quarter, as Adelaide was making a little bit of a run.
It's a turnover here off Perth hands. Caps will get the ball back. Paul Grice would be reasonably happy with his start from a scoreboard perspective, but as Timsy mentioned, a couple of easy buckets for the Lynx early stages. Griffin goes to work on Garvin, fading away, banking it off the glass. Hot start for KG.
Just a beautiful move.
She's got 6 early. 3 of 3 from the field.
Well, she was open from the perimeter as well, but decided to take it out of body.
Chippertoni drives with aggression, draws the contact, and will head to the charity stripe. Here's Kelsey Griffin, who's been in excellent form. Last 3 games, 18 points, 11 boards, 20 points, 9 boards, 20 points, 10 boards in their past 3. Griffin. We have a look at Alex Chippertoni, who played a season-high 26 minutes last game against the Adelaide Lightning. 13 points, 7 assists. And she's coming in some good form and proving really valuable for this Perth Lynx side.
Yeah, you see Folan going out there with two quick fouls, so that's not exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yep.
And, you know, Caps going small ball, they've just gone that little bit smaller now.
Jade Melbourne will have the inbounds pass. They struggled for minutes, I suppose, against Tapia and Smart on this side. Jade Melbourne in the back half of this season, but she has an early opportunity here for the Caps. As Griffin has a look for 3, can't get it to go. Smart able to get the rebound and the 2.
Well, it's really important that the Caps get on the glass, because one of the things Perth love to do is they love to get that defensive ball run, and they're great defensive rebounders. As here she is doing her thing, another pull-up Jade.
Young has 6. You see the rebound count there, 5-1 in favour of the Caps, and they're undermanned from a height perspective tonight. As Melbourne goes to work. The floater.
Oh, that's sweet, Melbourne.
Jade Melbourne.
Oh, and a steal.
Gets it back. A 4-point play.
She's just got a fantastic finish. She finishes super. And that's what they need from her tonight. 21-14 in Caps ways.
5.5 minutes of hoops. This is a hot start from the Caps. Undermanned. Not playing like it though. Mabry.
That's
draws the contact. No foul on Mabry. Melbourne hits the deck.
Well, I'd like to see that on replay. That was pretty good, D. She didn't back down from it, that's for sure. I don't know about that one, but yeah. She probably oversold it. That was probably the problem.
Yeah. First foul on Jade Melbourne. 13th foul on the Caps in this quarter. 2 on the Lynx. Young, beautiful to Mabry. The imports combined. If you're a neutral fan watching on, it's being treated to an excellent high-scoring start, 21-16. Probably the coaches won't be too pleased that it's so high-scoring, but happy as fans.
Wow.
I'm happy seeing Sykes go to work.
That was super. Tapia playing on the inside for the Caps now.
4 points, 2 assists for Sykes.
Wow.
But Young is playing a first quarter to die for.
Yeah, she did that the last 2 games as well against Adelaide. Had fantastic first quarter.
Yeah. Only a knee injury just stopped the momentum in that game yesterday, although turnover. It's now Sykes v Garvin 1-on-1. Sykes will love the Euro step. Melbourne with a floater, try to get it over the top of Garvin. Melbourne with it, gets it back again.
It's that blue collar, second effort, great job.
It's in really well to this Paul Goris coach side. Tapia, this is where she's at her best. Driving inside, Melbourne lost control, but it was off Lynx's hands, so they'll have 4 seconds on the shot clock here, the Caps.
She's just an elite passer, isn't she, Tapia?
Yeah.
She really, you know, she sees the floor so well.
Young takes a seat. An explosive start from Jackie Young, 4 of 6 from the field with 8 points. There's Griffin unloaded with a 3-ball attempt and all oxygen. 3 minutes and 10 remaining in this first quarter. Capitals 23-18. Both teams making a couple of substitutions. See Nat Burton, assistant coach. as Griffin also and Smart take a seat. So the Cubolo and a couple of other players off the bench getting an early look here in this one. Great atmosphere at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Mabry receives from Whitcomb and pulls up from the stripe and hits the 2.
Yeah, you can't give it that much space.
2 of 2, Marina Mabry from the field to date. As Sykes works her way into the key, raises up and draws the contact and will head to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
And that's what Caps have to keep doing. They have to keep attacking and trying to get their players into foul trouble.
Yep.
And there you see, is it Folding back on? Just a little bit, stepped off her a little bit too far on that switch. Sykes, that was a really good screen that took Sykes out.
Pretty handy last game against the Flyers. 24 points at 65% from the field. 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals from just 29 minutes.
Good day at the office.
Yeah. But she's been so consistent. 9+ points in every game so far this season, which is what you want from your imports into it. It's that consistency across the season.
Absolutely.
25-20 in favour of the Cats. Mabry from the car park.
Well, I was just thinking she's been very patient.
Yes.
I had to have a quick another look at the clock to make sure the clock wasn't running down. That was deep, and you know, I guess she's got a bit of a license, but boy, oh boy, it's all right when it goes down.
Yeah. Alex Sharp just on the floor. She's checked into the game. This is Abby Cubolo. Sykes gets a screen from Froling. And then pulls up again with that mid-range 2, which he's going to, and it's coming off for her at the moment.
Goodness, you know, Scherf's so flat. She's so deep on that on-ball. That's going to be open all night. Snake it and have a little jump shot.
Scherf now one-on-one with Sykes, then pulls out to allow Mabry to hit the 3. She's an incredible player.
Well, that was a tough shot. Following couldn't have done anything more. She had the big hand up.
What a star. What a privilege it is to watch the likes of Mabry, Sykes and Young on the floor tonight. Here is Sykes going to work, outdoing the defence. Can't hit that one. Froling comes up with the ball though. Jump ball is called.
Perth really packing it in, aren't they? They're, you know, really challenging Canberra. Okay, you got to beat us from the outside or with some jumpers. So look how deep she is there.
Yep.
Sure.
Possession arrow with the Lynx, so Whitcomb gets the ball back here with just over a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. Sharp, Scherf. Vandini was cutting baseline, that was ignored. Whitcomb from the car park. Froling comes up with the rebound. Good hustle though from Sharp. And then a little hand in there. Cubolo keeps control just. Looking for support at the other end of the floor. She has to retreat. Brittany Sykes, who's been in everything this quarter. Melbourne kicks up the tempo. Then kicks it out for Tapia. What a find.
What a great pass.
Tapia couldn't reward her with the 2. Allows Mabry to bring the ball up the floor. Showing off her control. Gutted by Melbourne. Steps back. Can't hit the 2. And good work there from Froling. Disallowing Scherf from grabbing the ball.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like all that dribbling going nowhere and no one else has touched the ball in that possession.
Sykes, flat off the hands. Froling, strong, tough, and did well. That's off Perth hands, so the Cats get the ball back. Froling competing well against Scherf in the last couple of possessions.
Well, she is, and she's got a couple of fouls, so she's got to be really careful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she really, you know, Melbourne did a very good job on her then.
The Scherf 196 centimetres, Froling 187. Griffin, the next tallest for the Caps at 188. Sykes. What a quarter. She's got 10 points for the quarter, 4 of 7 shooting. Final stages of this first quarter. 2-second differential between game clock and shot clock, but that doesn't matter now as Jade Melbourne goes behind the back. And we're in 8 seconds left now on the clock. Melbourne goes to work on Gandini's denied by Gandini. NBL 1 West Defensive Player of the Year, showing why there, Emma Gandini.
Well, look forward to seeing this one right now on the replay.
Nice timing. 27-year-old, one in. Sykes from the baseline, can't hit the 2. Big rebound from Sharp. Mabry's got a license to shoot now. That came That came well before the buzzer, but nonetheless, gosh, you've made a good choice to tune in to KO Sports tonight and watch these two teams. Caps 29, Lynx 23 at quarter time. Second quarter coming up in just a few moments.
What moves you got? You got a dance move? That guy's sitting still, that's the move. No, it's a dance move.
Taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. Until we dunk, hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Aussie Hoops is basketball's national junior participation program, introducing kids aged 5 to 10 years old to the great game of basketball. They learn and improve their fundamental movement skills as well as the basics of teamwork and cooperation. More importantly, let's have fun and make friends. So to find out where your kids can start a lifelong enjoyment of this great sport, visit the Aussie Hoops locator at that website, aussiehoops.basketball/find a program. Ben Waterworth with you alongside the great Michelle Timms, dual Olympic medalist, 5-time WNBL champion, for a top-of-the-table clash at Bendat Basketball Centre. Timsy, 29-23 in favour of the Caps. We're treated to a special game at the moment.
Well, Coach Goris will be pretty happy with that. You know, they had a couple of brain fades at the start of the quarter defensively, and that padded the Lynx's score. But boy, oh boy, 29 points. So I'm sure there's a lot of defence being spoken about in that Lynx huddle right now, because this is looking at 120, 110, 120-point ball game if the Caps keep this up.
Have you seen the Lynx's first quarter?
You know, not too bad, but they're just, I can't quite put words to it, to be honest.
Caps is playing better at the moment?
Absolutely, the scoreboard tells us so. And they're playing with no fear either, and smart in the fact that they're trying to attack, you know, put the ball on the floor and take it at Perth.
Terrific quarter from the UC Capitals. Had a big first quarter against Southside in their last game, hit 27 points there, then 32 points against Townsville a couple of weeks ago. So they're renowned fast starters, the Caps. Melbourne kicks it out to Griffin, who drives baseline, goes behind the back to Tapia, who hits the two. Party time in the second quarter. KG 23 with the great assist.
That'll make the highlight reel.
2 dimes for Griffin as Chibatoni puts up a long-range attempt and is well off target. Sykes kicks up the tempo. The team chemistry among the Caps at the moment is awesome as Melbourne heads to the line.
They're up and about, that's for sure. I don't know that it was such a great shot by Chibatoni as we see this pass here.
I think she knew what she was doing, KG.
Yeah. Yeah, they've definitely got a peppiness there, but I just don't know that Chibatoni's shot was so good. You know, they haven't early in the quarter, get it down there, get the ball through a few hands, change sides, especially when you're finding it hard to score.
Okay, Melbourne 1 of 2. 19-year-old continuing to develop her game on this deep Canberra Capitals roster. Garvin, Chibatoni, Garvin. One-on-one here with Tapia. Garvin turns around, can't get it to go. Young gets the rebound. Bit of a hand in there from the Caps to force a missed shot. And this Caps team is really playing with terrific intensity on defense.
Oh, look out.
Melbourne!
Melbourne's
Awesome.
feeling it tonight. Taking that big girl on, recognising that she's got Garvin on.
She's got 7 with a couple of steals as well, Jade Melbourne.
But I like the fact that, you know, Perth are moving the ball around a bit more as we see Young hit a jumper, but they need to get the ball inside. They need to get the ball inside a little bit more to the bigs. They went at Garvin before.
Sykes easing up, couldn't get that one to go, and a big strong rebound that time from Lauren Scherf. Remarkably, that's just Scherf's first rebound of the game. 2 minutes into the second quarter. Young from deep.
Well, you'd let her have that because that's something you'll give her, and that's another good shot.
She's not a renowned three-point shooter. She's just her 10th three-point attempt of the season, Jackie Young. As Sykes can't get that one to go, did all the hard work. Frustrated at herself that she missed that attempt as Cabillo is called for the foul.
You know, Cabillo's doing a really good job. Perth are getting on the D boards, and that's always a scary thing. But twice in a row, she's picked the ball up, not allowing him to get off to the races. That's where they can really, you know, run numbers up on that scoreboard super quick.
Caps led by as much as 11. Remarkable. It's in the top of the table clash here.
Oh, that's a trouble.
Scherf took a step too many. Just hasn't quite clicked for Lauren Scherf so far in this game. 2 points, 2 boards. On a night where, on paper, considering the outs of the Caps, you'd expect her to have a big night. Still plenty of time left in the game. Sykes is really taking this game on. Couldn't get that one to go. Chibatoni for Young, that's her game, but well off target.
And how do you not know that? Like, she got, yeah, you got to take that away from her.
Both teams shooting well, over 50%. Britt Smart hits a long range too. Both teams making the most of their opportunities from the field in this game. Caps just got a few more shots up at the moment. Chibatoni, Whitcomb, long range attempt. It's the in there. Scherf with an offensive rebound. Fresh 14 here for Chibatoni and the Lynx to work with him. Chibatoni inside, misses again.
Well, and that's something you don't often see with Perth, is nobody going to the boards. A little bit out of sync. Canberra's done a good job of really messing with them in the first quarter and a half.
Sykes, Smart, lost their balance there as she grabbed that ball. Looking for the sneaky pass for a cutting Griffin. Off hands though, the Caps still have 9 seconds to work with.
Yeah, I'm sort of sitting here waiting for Sammy Whitcomb to, you know, do what Sammy does, and she often just assesses the game, sees how it's going, and then suddenly just starts laying numbers up for him. But
Yet to score so far, Sammy Whitcomb.
She's not into the game yet.
Griffin with 7 to shoot, backing down here on Garvin, fading away on Garvin, couldn't hit the 2. Nice hand in there from Chibatoni to allow Young to bring the ball down. Young goes to work, and Griffin was waiting there to send that back in the 3 rows back.
Yeah. I was doubtful they were going to turn that into a fast break. They had the numbers, and I was a bit concerned they weren't going to put the Jets on.
Both Griffin and Sykes using their athleticism there, but unfortunately a foul is called, and Jackie Young will be heading to the free throw line. Really lifted her output, really since Maybury was out of the side. So in her first 6 games, she was averaging 10 points and attempting just 9 field goals per game. Her last 5 games, prior to the injured game the other night, averaged 25 points and attempted 19 field goals per game. So she's really stepped up offensively on the back end of this season. This is that attempt. Griffin is there to bring down the rebounds. 4 rebounds for Griffin, 17 to the Caps in favour of them. Griffin now picking it out.
That's
Tapaya.
Boom time.
Talia Tapaya in the last 3 games going at 64% from 3-point territory, continuing her hot form at the Bendat Basketball Centre. What a start from the Caps. 13-point lead they have over the Lynx. The Lynx are shell-shocked, and so are their fans. Maybury looking for Garvin. Picked the pocket there, did the Caps of Garvin. It's just not going their way. Sykes into the corner. That one couldn't drop on that occasion, but they come up again. It's falling apart here for the Lynx this quarter, although Young comes up with a much-needed steal, and on the fast break, pulled up. Luckily, that one dropped. Jackie Young almost doing it, carrying their team on her back at the moment. She's got 13 of the Lynx's 28 points. Tapaya, Griffin.
Swain on.
Yeah, Swain on the court.
Exciting talent, this kid.
Just stepped out of bounds. What impresses you about the number 6 for the Caps, Timsy?
She's super athletic. She's got a lot of upside. You know, if you've got that as your starting point, you get, you know, as a coach, you've got a lot to work with. We'll see how she goes defensively, though, against Mabry. That's a big task for her, a big challenge. Tell you what, though, Canberra Capitals are doing a great job controlling this tempo.
Mabry put up the long-range attempt. Griffin with another rebound. Tapia, Smart, Swain, driving baseline, scoring baseline.
Wow.
That's a statement from the young gun.
It's a statement. I'm ready to play some minutes, coach.
Yeah. This is awesome from the Caps. If you're on the East Coast in the ACT tonight, hope you're enjoying your team putting on a show. Jackie Young, though, is keeping her Perth Lynx in this game as a timeout is called with an 11-point differential between these two sides.
Well, you know, it's going to be interesting coming into the last, you know, that last quarter. The Canberra Capitals, if they'll have the legs to run this out.
Yep.
But, boy, they've started on fire.
Well, you're talking about the stamina as well in that last quarter. We know about the Perth Lynx, how all their games have been condensed into the back half of their season as well. But the Caps have had a pretty decent break between their last game. They played the Southside Flyers last weekend as well. So the Caps might have the legs in the last quarter.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Caps go home from here. I think they're on the road until the end of the end of the season.
Yep.
Well, at least until finals time. They go to Adelaide and then down to Melbourne Boomers. So they will pick up 2 players.
Yes.
In Wilson. Wilson will join them, and Bunton will join them in Adelaide.
You wouldn't know that they're missing Bunton and Wilson tonight, though. They're playing with...
Oh, they've just been great. Look, they've, as I mentioned, they've controlled the tempo. They're playing this game on their terms.
Yep.
They've done a good job of keeping or not allowing the defensive boards to get out for them to get out and run. So they've done a good job there. They'll be pretty happy with the way they've followed their game plan, I'd say. Foul trouble's okay, as we see Perth mix it up a little bit, as they do often out of a timeout.
Smart, Tapia for 3. Can't get that one to go. Scherf using her height, standing tall there. Just gets the ball to Jackie Young. Doing it all herself at the moment, Jackie Young. She's keeping her team almost single-handedly in this contest.
Yeah, pretty good defense, but you can't pick a player like that up at the foul line. Look, she got right into the inside the 3-point line before she was attended to. But what a great finish. It's interesting at the start of the season, as you mentioned, she really struggled to find how she fitted into this team.
She's found her rhythm now, Jackie Young. And she has now got a game-high 18 points. Still just over 3.5 to play in the second. Melbourne running the point. Smart in the corner. In familiar territory. Can't get it to go. Scherf and Sharp were there to bring down the rebound. Mabry waiting for it in the corner. She's in familiar territory.
Oh, she looked like she wanted to give that up. Should have just shot it.
Then goes herself on the inside. This is both attempts in the end as Tapia drew the foul. Much to Mabry's disgust.
Perth back in the zone, then it's makes it a little bit. It's always a little bit harder for the offensive team to rebound. The defensive team to rebound, but they did a good job in that instance of getting the ball and getting out and running. We haven't seen too many fast breaks from them.
So Jackie Young takes a seat. 18 points to her name. 8 of 12 shooting for Jackie Young. Smart inside for Froling. On Scherf, lovely move.
Textbook move. Great pressure by Smart for a steal.
And Swain can't quite get the 2 to go. Lauren Scherf, she's rebounding, but hasn't got it her own way. Maybe went for Gandini. Tapia was there to cut it off, but just ran out of real estate in the end.
Well, and it was really smart just to run out of real estate. She didn't want to try and flip that back in, and that would have been a sure thing for Perth. But what great pressure there by Smart. Unfortunate for Swain, but good hands by Scherf to tap that on.
Tapia and Swain taking a seat. Sykes and Griffin Pretty handy inclusions off the bench. Make their way back on. Perth have done well. They've
Pegging it back, yep.
slowly pegging it back off the back of Young.
Well, they had a couple of good pushes, so they had, a couple of good fast breaks.
Maybe working hard underneath the bucket. Gandini.
That's where they've got to go, right in the hole there.
Scherf can't get it to go. A 3-line Scherf tonight. Sykes, smart. Hoping for Froling. Gets Froling ultimately. There's 3 Lynx there waiting to take it away from her. Can they make the most of it at the offensive end here? Some momentum. Wickham in and out. Scherf trying to find a teammate. Friendly fire there between Melbourne and Froling.
Boy, that was brave of Melbourne to go under a screen against Whitcomb.
Dean was there for the Lynx. On replay, that aggression from Jade Melbourne.
Great effort by Froling.
The ball with the Caps, 8-point differential. And the Lynx continue to peg back the margin. Sykes kicks it out. Melbourne, good look for 3. Scherf with another rebound. Again, and the pressure every time she has that pass off though. Young, straight away back on the floor herself. Lobbing it in for Scherf. They go to her again.
Oh, yes.
Being picked again. Sykes, smart, gets it in.
Well, what a great job. They, that Perth were doing the right thing, going to the mismatch. But Smart just came out of nowhere to get that steal.
Long attempt from Whitcomb, just not falling for the captain at the moment. She's 0 of 3 from deep. And the Lynx are 1 of 9 overall. Sykes raising up.
Just doing a great job off that step-up screen. Scherf's sitting so low. She's really taken advantage of that so far in this game.
And just like that, a couple of buckets in a row for the Caps. Extend their lead. And they get the ball back.
Again.
Smart has Froling. Can't quite get it to her cleanly. Whitcomb was there to force it out of bounds with 19 on the shot clock.
That was a shame for Canberra fans for sure. You see here, she snakes it. And just as easy as you like. No, not even a hand to have to shoot over.
Timeout called with 53 seconds remaining in this second half. You see Sammy Whitcomb there, a bit frustrated. Just hasn't been her night so far. Perth Lynx coaching staff certainly have a lot to think about. Just before half time, Timsy.
Well, I think they got it back to 7 and now it's out again to 12.
Yeah.
But Canberra Capital's doing just a great job defensively and getting out and pushing. I mean, yeah, it's unusual for Sammy Whitcomb to not have scored, but Canberra Capital's making the most of it.
Coach Ryan Petrick addressing his side.
Got to say, I like him as a coach. The last few games I've watched, I've really enjoyed. I mean, not enjoying this, being a Lynx fan, but I've got a lot of respect for this guy. I think he's a really good coach. His defensive structures, the players all buy into it. They're not playing great D tonight, so I'm sure they're going to reset things when they go in at half-time, which can't come soon enough for them. But, yeah, he's got a really good little ball club together.
Assistant coach under Andy Stewart between 2015 and 2020. They played that high-octane, entertaining offensive game. Sykes turned over.
Good hands by Whitcomb.
Here is an opportunity for Whitcomb, but good defence from the Caps to put the brakes on. Chibatoni hoping for Garvin. It eventually gets to Garvin, but again, great hands from Smart. Forces the turnover. Griffin keeps control. Melbourne loses her feet and then is forced out of bounds.
Well, that was lucky. That was lucky for Perth.
Paul Goris pushing his side. His last season with the Caps, and announced during the week that he's been assistant coach in the WNBA. We'll talk about that no doubt during the second half. Exciting opportunity that is for the dual championship coach. So about a 4-second differential between game clock and shot clock as we tick towards half time. Young been the player of the half for the Lynx. She's got a 20-point first half, Jackie Young. What a first half from her. And Brittany Sykes now. The tick towards halftime. 4 to shoot. Long range. Gets the lucky roll. Sums up the first half. It really has been the Capitals who've dominated those first 2 quarters, and they head into halftime with a terrific lead, 48-35, as Sykes hits that 3-point buzzer beater and takes her tally to a team-high 15 points, Timsy.
Well, it's just, I mean, I would never have guessed this at all. I mean, it's not great 3-point shooting from either team, as I'm sure we're going to have a look at the stats in a minute, but boy, Canberra have just owned this first half.
Let's have a look at some of the match highlights from this first half. It's been a first half that's been completely dominated by
this
Caps
lady right here.
And Brittany Sykes has been front and centre with 15 points and 4 assists as well. It's been such an entertaining game to watch from a Capitals perspective, Timsy.
Yeah, defensively it's just not working. Sorry, I was going to say Phoenix. What Perth Lynx are trying to get done. It's you know, Sykes is having her way with it, with getting the ball in the key, getting her feet in the key. Great pass there by Griffin.
And who knows where the Lynx would be without Jackie Young at the moment, Timsy.
Yeah, exactly. And Canada having just a couple of breakdowns in their defence. Had a couple in the first quarter, and a couple late in the second quarter then, which gave Perth a couple of buckets. But this is what they did well. They got out and ran. Came up with some steals and was able to run.
See Jackie Young hitting that late shot there is Brittany Sykes right on the buzzer. Beautiful look at that from our KO Sports cameras. No nonsense. Just hit a long-range 3 like that and give the team a 13-point advantage at half-time. Not much differential in the numbers, but considering the height differential, Timsy, to get 24 rebounds to 18, Paul Goris would be thrilled with that.
Absolutely, and that was a big focus for them. They needed to win. One of their keys, I'm sure, would have been to win the boards, and for so many different reasons. It'll slow the opposition down. They can't get out and run, but he's got to be extremely happy with that. But the stat that's staggering for me is Perth Lynx 1 from 9 from 3-point land.
Yep.
And Capitals not much better, but when you're a team like the Lynx who shoot the ball pretty well from the perimeter, that's not a very good stat.
We'll take a short break here on KO Sports, come back with some more analysis and talk Opals with Michelle Timms.
We fight for every ball until we dunk. Hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Well, Darcy, I've got just a couple of quick-fire questions for you, just so we can get a chance to know your teammates a little bit more off the court. So feel free to dob anybody in. All right, number one, who is your class clown of the team? Who is the jokester that likes to do pranks, keeps everybody laughing?
Taylor Burrows. Taylor Burrows 100%.
And what about who's the most serious?
Oh, most serious. Maybe Jackie Young, but then she does like to have a laugh. But I think initially you think that she is super serious.
who is the messiest player on the team that you just do not want to share a room with on a road trip?
Oh, I'm going to be in trouble here. I'm going to say maybe Sherpy.
All right, now who is the first player on your team that would jump on the stage at a karaoke bar?
Probably Taylor Burrows again. Taylor Burrows and maybe Chiba.
And who, do you have any coffee snobs on your team?
Oh, Sammy Whitcomb. I roomed with Sammy in Ballarat and we would go for coffee a fair bit. And I am embarrassed to order her coffee order because she has the most difficult order and she is a big coffee snob. So I'm very happy to throw under the bus with that.
Maybe Sammy Wickham should be in Melbourne if she's a bit of a coffee snob as well.
Absolutely. We have the best coffee in the universe, don't we?
I thought so as well. Great to have your company here on KO Sports. It's half-time of our clash between the Caps and the Lynx. The Caps leading 48-35 in a mightily entertaining contest, and with the great Michelle Timms, 5-time WNBL champion, member of the last team, the Perth-based team, to win a WNBL championship.
That's right.
Yeah,
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yes, very important member as well. Who has impressed you most in the first half from a player perspective, Timsy?
You know what? I've been impressed just by the UC Caps. They would have had... they would have had some serious goals going. I mean, obviously, when you go into games, you have goals and keys and that. But I wrote a few keys down for them that I thought they needed to do. And I think they've ticked each box, like they're winning the boards and they've controlled the tempo and they haven't got into foul trouble. They're three things they needed to get done to be a chance of making this a good game. But not only have they made it a good game, they're winning it right now. And on the other flip side, I had a few keys that I thought that Perth needed. And one was that with this small ball that Canberra are going, they needed to dominate on the inside.
Yep.
And, when you look at the stats, which we'll have a look at in a minute, Scherf's only had 3 shots. And they haven't really attacked on the inside and won the inside at all, in my opinion, against a much smaller team. Another one was that they needed to run and attack as much as they could and get the opposition into foul trouble, which they haven't done. And the last one was, can they share the ball? And at times they have, and at times they haven't. So 1 out of 3 things that I think were key.
So just some highlights of Jade Melbourne, who's having a terrific game for the UC Capitals, one of many players having a terrific game for the Caps. Basically, if it wasn't for Jackie Young, it's hard to know where the Perth Lynx would be in this game. She's got 20 of her side's 35 points, and most of them came in that second quarter when the Caps were on a roll. Yeah,
you know what? You know who I thought was the best against her was Tupea. I thought she did a really good job in the initial stages, but because they're trying to make sure they don't run out of legs and rotate everybody around. Tupea spent a little bit of time on the bigs, and so she got moved off her. But look, she's a heck of a player, Young. It's you got to dare her to shoot the 3, and there she's getting a steal as well.
And she's been doing terrific work all season on the inside and improving her output seemingly with every game that she plays. As Timsy mentioned during the call, that slow start to the season offensively, averaged to 10 points from her first 6 games, but that's improved to 25 points from her past 5 games. Let's switch focus now, Timsy, while we've got you as well, and it is great to have you on board tonight. You were recently part of the FIBA Women's World Cup group draw, which was in Sydney a little over a week ago.
Oh, look
Here you
are
alongside the GOAT.
Whoa.
What was this experience like for you?
Oh, it was fantastic. I tell you, I was nervous. My fingers are probably shaking there, but I did get the nails done, and it was just an amazing event, and congratulations to and here I am pulling out Australia, and I know, boy, I copped it with the pool I've ended up in, but look, to be the best, you've got to beat the best, but they're going to have to work hard to get their way out of the first pool, but for sure they can.
Well, let's have a look at the groups in particular.
Well, I can run through the games if you like.
Yeah, run through the games,
Look, our first game's against France, and I think we'll get that one. So I gave us a big W for that.
Right.
Our next game's against Nigeria, and then, which I believe we'll get that. It's going to be a hard game, but we'll get that. And then we have a rest day. And then we come back and we play Serbia, which is going to be anyone's game. And then we go, although I think we've got a lot to prove, and it is our home ground, so I'll tick us for a W there. So we're at 3 wins now. And then we play Canada. I've got us winning again.
Yep.
So we've got 4 wins, and then Japan's going to be really tough, and it's a 50-50 with that. So according to me, if all goes well, we'll finish 1 or 2 of our pool, which honestly, you do not want to finish 3 or 4 because the crossover with the USA or China, China just balled out in at the qualification tournament over in Serbia. That was superb. So anyway, I honestly think that we'll be okay and we'll get out of the pool round and into where all the fun stuff starts.
We're sort of unprecedented times when you're giving predictions 6 months out from the game actually happening.
Well,
so we really like that, Timsy.
It's fresh.
What does it mean to have the Basketball Women's World Cup back in Australia? What does it mean for hoops in this country?
Oh, it's massive. It's, at that evening, it was interesting. It spoke a lot to the GOAT, Lauren Jackson, and she was telling stories how when we played Oz 94, she was a 12-year-old, and it motivated, inspired her, and hopefully it inspires a generation of not only girls, but male players as well.
From an Opal's perspective, there's still a lot of time between now and then. There's a few more rounds in the WNBL to work out what might the Opal squad could look like come September, October as well. Looking at the WNBL season in particular, are there any players that have really stood out to you?
Don't go doing that to me.
That have might be pushing their case that you'd really love to see come September, October?
Oh, look, it's yeah, there is. And the obvious one for me would be Maley.
Yep.
But the good thing is we've got so many games. There's 15 games that we've got between now and the first toss of the ball against France. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully there'll be players who have played well during the WNBL season who'll fill some spots, and we'll get to see how they go internationally. And it wouldn't surprise me if someone who's such a possession animal like Annalise Maley could out of the blue make that team. And if you're a possession animal, you're a possession animal. It doesn't matter whether it's in Australia or overseas. If you've got a nose for the ball, no matter what height, I think she could be a nice ad, but it'd have to be a pretty daring, a daring take.
Yep.
But,
she's on the cusp. She was part of the camp recently.
I expect to see Scherf in.
Yep.
Hasn't played great tonight, but I still expect that she's had a really good WNBL season. I think she's playing the best basketball I've seen her ever play, to be honest. So, Abby Bishop, unfortunately, is out with her injury, so there's a spot there to fill. She could potentially fill that spot. And like I said, there's some wonderful opportunities for the players who are here in Australia while those WNBA players are away.
All right, so about to get the third quarter underway here from the Bendat Basketball Centre. 48-35 in favour of the Caps. The Lynx will have the ball to start this second half. Timsy, what do you want to see from the Lynx in particular as we start this third quarter?
Well, a few more inside catches, attack the height advantage, and when the Caps did some switching, then they need to attack the switches. But to be fair, the Caps have done a really good job. Defensively, they've been getting. Even with the switches, the help's been coming flying across from the weak side. So, but anyway, look, I think they need to get some inside game happening and see if they can get running, which is their forte.
13-point lead for the Caps in this top-of-the-table clash on a Saturday night. Primetime Perth. Scherf goes inside, can't get it to go. Gets the offensive rebound. Finally, the reverse drops for Lauren Scherf.
The other one who's been super quiet is Garvin. She's only taken 2 shots as well.
Great to have your company on KO Sports on a Saturday night. First versus second on the ladder. Griffin, deep 2 is a beautiful 2.
Thank you for coming. I thought Sykes got away with a sneaky little travel then, but boy, what a shot. Too easy.
Assist number 5 for Brittany Sykes. 8 points now for Kelsey Griffin. Great response from the Caps. Hoping to try and cement the spot in that top 2 as Jackie Young picks up from where she left off.
Was that a 3? I didn't quite see.
I think foot was just inside, so 22 points now for Jackie Young.
They just don't seem rhythmic or have any sync. They've got no zip about them, Perth. In the last couple of games, they've run really nice sets, but they've slowed it down, but they've blasted cuts, and I just don't see that today. They just seem low of energy.
Froling for Sykes, for Froling, for Tapea, foot in the line. Just short. Scherf comes up with a big rebound. Starting to get busy off the glass. 24 rebounds to 20 in favour of the UC Caps as Young continues to carry her team on her back.
Look it's not a bad idea, but I think now you know to go under against her because you know you push the post pushes up and you go 2 under, but she's just hit 2 in a row now, so I think they need to change that.
Oh, Brittany Sykes putting on a masterclass.
Well, there was no help there, was it? It was still in the charge circle for the help. See this again. Just step up screen, way too easy. Should have been a switch. As soon as that man hits the screen, it's done and dusted. You're not in any certain defensive set, you're in switch mode.
So the points count, and she will head to the free throw line. Brittany Sykes, 70% free throw shooter. Continuing her outstanding 2022 WNBL campaign.
Look at those stats, unbelievable.
Very nice set of numbers so far for Brittany Sykes, and we've still got just under 2 quarters left. Wickham, can she finally hit? Yes, the captain delivers.
Everybody in Perth has just released a big breath.
First points for Sammy Wickham for the game. Connects on her 4th triple attempt.
Mate, she can run up numbers though, don't you worry about that.
Tapaya, smart, overserve, can't get it to drop, but great hustle from Britt Smart. A couple of times we've seen that from her. And Griffin is wide open for 3.
Wow, Smart, blue collar, just gets it done.
And Kelsey Griffin takes her tally into double figures, becomes the 3rd Capitals player to go plus 10+ points. Meanwhile, Jackie Young continues to put on a monster display. 26 for her.
Well, I got the match-up back with Tapaya on her, but that was just a great shot. Tapaya had her hand in the face.
Thought about the 3.
There's a good mismatch, but they've got that split line loaded up. Let's see what you can do.
Sykes draws the defence, and then a turnover is forced. And well played by Chibatoni. Fought her way through it and got the 2. Sykes was waiting to send that towards Scarborough.
That was a good defensive set.
Back under 8 points. Back to 8 points, rather. And then the hustle defence.
Here comes the Perth pressure that we're used to.
Young, awesome. Just simply awesome. She can't be stopped at the moment.
Goodness. It's one of those things, Sykes doesn't want to get into foul trouble either. So there wasn't much resistance there from her.
And just like that, the Cats' lead has been reduced to 6. Griffin stands tall but can't get that one to drop. Good defence from Garvin. Scherf brings it away.
We're running a little bit more now. Oh, look out. Here's danger.
Wickham drives. Kicks it out. Chibatoni!
Booyah! There we go. And just like that, it's a 6-point ball game. Sorry, 3-point ball game.
Timeout called, and rightly so, because this has been a monster start in this 3rd quarter by the Perth Lynx. The script has flipped dramatically.
Well, they've turned up the defensive pressure, which we didn't see any of in the first quarter, in the first half. And that's enabled them to get out and run. Sammy Wickham hit her first 3. And Chibatoni with a big 3.
So now the pressure back on Paul Goris's side. Undermanned, missing 3 of their best players. The Perth Lynx making a statement in this 3rd quarter. 18 points to 8 so far in this quarter, after trailing by 13 at the major break.
18 points to 8.
In this 3rd quarter.
In less than 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
What did I say? What did I say? They can run up some numbers.
They can. And but it's all, as you've mentioned, it's all started from the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah. You know, I went back and watched a few of their games, the last couple of games.
Yep.
Sydney, Adelaide, and their defensive pressure was so good. They played as one defensively.
So what have the Caps got in response? Caps with 10 wins, 4 losses so far this season. The Lynx 9 wins and 3 losses. Caps, as Tinsy mentioned, the 2 games to go after tonight. Griffin trying to hand it off. Not a lot of room to move though for the Caps. Sykes just jumps over everyone to try and get the bucket, and she does.
How beautiful is that? Can she elevate or what?
Terrific rise from Brittany Sykes as she hits 20 points. Scherf. Great find from Mabry.
Yeah, when you're switching out like that, you've got to make sure you got heat on that pass. So young Foley just needs to try and pick that pass off next time.
Great crowd at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Capacity crowd with the COVID restrictions. Sykes is drawing 2 defenders there, Garvin and Young. Finds a way through and draws the foul. Aaron Scherf is called for her 2nd personal foul.
I'd like to have an answer of what sort of D they're playing, but I couldn't quite pick it, and maybe neither did they. They didn't know either, because they had 2 on the ball, and Darcy Garvin was looking over at coach like bewildered. Sykes with 50% from the field.
She came into the WNBL really renowned for her defence from a WNBA perspective. A Sports Illustrated article said that Brittany Sykes is the WNBA's defensive spark plug. But we're seeing her, what she can do offensively, particularly just getting better with every game that she plays.
So much more confident. She's going to be going back to the WNBA a better player, that's for sure.
Beautifully played there from Marina Maybury, speaking of WNBA. She's been for Dallas and showing off her capabilities in the West this season. Sykes for Griffin for Sykes. Has lost control. Smart regains it. Melbourne getting hot. Griffin for 3. Feeling it from deep. KD 23 is 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Well, they weathered the storm.
Maybury turns it over. You're right, Tinsy. They just able to put the brakes on the Lynx momentarily. As Britt Smart pulls the trigger, took the right off the hand.
Oh, that was quick and early in the offense. Especially when you really needed another score then.
Maybury sort of with that almost lackadaisical attempt in the end, just off target. A couple of misses from both teams in recent minutes. Griffin and Smart again combined. Smart cornered. Griffin for 3 again!
That's a better offense. Wow, wide open. As they doubled down on the handler then in Smart and left Griffin wide open.
17 points for the star. Multiple time grand final MVP. Big game player stepping up against big name opponent. Garvin. Just the 2 points so far for Darcy Garvin.
Oh, no one really else other than Scherf in the key then. Oh,
Melbourne.
Hello.
Roll, but fouled on our way through and we'll head to the strike.
Oh, I really do love Melbourne. Just no fear at all.
You believe she's only 19?
No, can't. There's someone else you mentioned today that you said was only 25, and I thought, heck no. I can't remember who it was, whether it was Tupaya or somebody. Sounds
Tupaya.
Like she's been around for 100 years.
Yeah. Her ultimate goal, Jade Melbourne, is to get drafted in the WNBA in the next 2 to 3 years and go to an Olympics, and certainly wouldn't put it past her to achieve both of those.
Well, you'd expect she'd get an opportunity to be involved with the Opal squad, filling positions for the upcoming next 15 games.
Yep. Showed her class at the Under-19 World Champs in 2021, part of the All-Star 5 team there, averaging 13 points per game.
She was good then.
Young back on the floor. She just can't miss. She's up to 30. 30 points with 3 minutes to play in the third.
That's it. I'm going to lockdown. I'm not letting it even catch the ball.
What a delight. Melbourne almost continue the delight. Great hustle. Couldn't quite grab it cleanly. The Lynx bring the ball there into the floor. Young able to just keep control. And why not? When you're just hot, just keep on putting it up. This is a bonkers game from Jackie Young.
A bonkers game. There you go.
No way to describe it at the moment. As Melbourne hits the 3.
Yeah, that looked good off the hand. Say it, Benwood. Say it.
If you're a coach right now, like, are you concerned that there's just so many points just being put up at the moment, Timsy?
Well, obviously defensively you're concerned, yeah, of course.
No, from the neutral perspective, it is
Oh, it's
awesome
fantastic.
to watch.
Yep. Us lounge chair watchers are having a great old time. Look at this display.
71-61 in favour of the Caps. Great night. The couch on KO Sports. Thanks for joining us.
It's going. It's gone.
Rare miss from Young. It's 15 of 21. She's going at 71% for 32 points. Any set of digits for the Ohio native. Britt Smart. That looked all right, but
Yeah,
out.
that was just great poise by Kelsey Griffin. Good pass.
Chibatoni goes to work on Griffin. Can't get around the star. Bring it out for Mabry, who has 8 to shoot. Guarded by Smart. Pulls up for 2 and knocks it down.
Yeah. What's your favourite saying? Is it the mic? Is you who says the microwave? She needs to heat up.
A microwave? I don't mind a microwave.
She needs to get going too.
Yeah. This isn't quite defrosted yet off the bench.
Oh, dang, there you have it.
That is off hands. But still a Perth Lynx ball. There's Jackie Young on the screen.
You know, it's interesting because coming into this game, I was really interested to see how maybe he was going to step back in. I mean, how disruptive it was going to be. But they've actually, I mean, look, Young's just been outstanding.
Yep.
And maybe's been pretty patient, to be honest.
Yep.
Except for that one crazy shot she took in the second quarter.
Here she is, putting up only shot there in the shot clock passage, but rebound there for Britt Smart, who continues to impress. A terrific night, Britt Smart. She's got 11 to go with 4 rebs and 3 steals. Almost brought down another rebound. Allowed Melbourne to put up the shot. Froling back on the floor.
Oh, come on, that's, yeah. Oh, look out, here we go.
Oh, Froling and Mabry not happy at all.
Hey, easy, Tiger. Easy, Tiger.
Referee having to step in.
Yeah, well,
his tempers flare.
It was a foul, and she got the call, but we don't mind that at home, to be honest. We don't mind. It's adding to the drama.
Certainly is, and these two teams, certainly not short of in recent years.
No, they always have a bit of a go.
Here's a look on replay.
Oh, yeah, Froling. Probably didn't need to go there, but adds to the drama, as I said. Cooler heads prevailed now. They're all settled. There's 45 seconds to go.
Both coaches called for calm as well. Alicia Froling and Marina Mabry.
I wonder if that's a referee's timeout or whether it's... it looks like it's just a referee's timeout.
Yep.
And they could probably go onto the video, I dare say, to work out whether they're going to ping Froling with a foul.
She's certainly had to step up her game. Reminder, no Alex Bunton at the floor.
Moving at the station.
We're having a chat now with Paul Goris.
She's done a good job tonight, Froling. She's only got a couple of points. And except for that early couple of fouls she's got, she stayed out of foul trouble. Talking to the captain, saying, let's cool it, kids.
Getting everything tonight on KO Sports.
Absolutely.
Great offense, great defense, a little bit of flair from both teams as well.
Oh, that was so nice. A little bit of flair, a little bit of biffo. Yeah. But no.
Mabry has been called for the foul.
Yeah. That's good they just left it at that. That's good.
Job by our referees in charge tonight. And these two teams have played some fiery contests over the years. Kelsey Griffin a couple of seasons ago famously came away with a pretty bloody nose as well. Paul Goris, I think, has got in trouble with the league. He's been fined for some post-match comments after a game as well. And these two teams have met. Smart from the inbounds pass. Can't shut the crowd up. Chibatoni ups the tempo. Scherf, Young, guarded by Melbourne. Now guarded by Froling. Raising up, hitting another 2.
That's massive. Like, look, Froling did a really good job carrying high hands. Didn't give him much space. Goodness.
I'm trying to think of the last time he hit 40 points in the WNBL. Liz, 2017-18, went very, very close. Certainly Sammy Wickham hit 41 back into the 2016-17 season. She's on target tonight, Jackie Young. We watch Brittany Sykes head to the free throw line. She's having a terrific night. WNBA 2021 #1 for steals, is in the all-defensive team. Played all 32 games.
24 points.
To go with 6 assists. Brittany Sykes.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to try and deny the catch to start with. Tough assignment, though.
Yeah, Jade Melbourne has been. Oh, assignment. Wickham ran out of room. Griffin to Melbourne, and no one is catching Jade Melbourne.
Oh, nice finish, but what great defense by Smart to plug Wickham out of bounds there.
Right on the buzzer, Jade Melbourne gets the buzzer beater, and they see off an early challenge there from the Lynx to the Caps. They hold a handy lead at three-quarter time, 75-65. And we've got the fourth quarter coming up in just a few moments. As we mentioned at half-time, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup is bringing the world's best players to Australia. This September, the Opals will be part of a 12-team playing for a world title at the Sydney Olympic Park. So to sign up for first access to tickets, head to womensworldcup.basketball. And whether you want to be like Ezzy, want to be like Jackie Young, or want to be like Michelle Timms, or just be your best, Sporting believe everybody should have the opportunity to play basketball. Grab yourself a ball and get started today at sporting.com.au. Sporting, the official ball partner of the WNBL. And we've got a serious ball game at Bendat Basketball Centre. 75-65. The Caps lead the Lynx, Michelle Timms.
Yeah.
And, the Caps did really well in that quarter to see off an early challenge from the Lynx and maintain that strong lead.
Yeah, they really did, and they weathered that storm beautifully. But the big stat that's concerning me from Cat's point of view, and doesn't surprise me though, is they've only been to the free throw line 5 times.
Yep.
And Caps have been there 13 times.
Yep.
And boy, Caps are starting to grind it from the three-point line to up to nearly almost 40%.
12 of 13 from the line as well. The Caps splits like 7 of 7. She's got 24 as we get this fourth quarter underway. Big stakes here, trying to cement a spot in the top two, these two sides, as Griffin misses a tough fade away from the baseline. Great to have your company on KO Sports for this top of the table clash from the West. Wickham, Scherf, Young, who's got 34. Hoping for Scherf. His one-on-one was Smart. Big mismatch foul is called.
Yeah, and it's really smart by Young. Like, Scherf didn't realise she had Smart on her. She just had to get straight to the rim, and then, you know, somebody's going to help out, and then you hit the helper's man.
Young Now with a mid-range two. That's 4 in a row she's missed.
Pleading a case with the referees, but to be honest, I didn't really see any there. Look at this. They've just done such a great job all night, just controlling the tempo, playing the game on their terms.
Griffin for Sykes. Oh, one duke if you don't mind. Awesome from Brittany Sykes. The two imports putting on a show tonight. Sykes at one end, Young at the other. It's a 14-point lead now for the Caps. There's maybe another gear to go to. Turnover from Griffin, and Melbourne will get another easy layup.
Oh, wow. There's got to be a timeout right now from Perth.
And there certainly is, Michelle, as the Caps take a game-high 16-point lead, 81-65, with just over 6 left in the fourth.
Yeah, they definitely need to get the ball through some hands and try and get into some offensive sets. Canberra just doing a super job.
Remember, there's no Alex Bunton, no Kelly Wilson, no Michaela Ruth. Bunton and Ruth, they're two tallest players on the floor. Yet the Caps have a rebound count of 35 to Perth's 30. They've been able to get to the free throw line much more than the Perth Lynx. Making a bit of a statement here.
Well, and that was the key for them. They had to win the boards, you know, so that's a fantastic effort. And you look at the scoreline, though, they've just been total opposite to Perth in that, you know, Smart's got 11, Melbourne's got 18, Sykes is 26, Griffin's got 16.
Yep.
So the ball's been shared around. There's been different avenues to score from. And you look up at Perth, on the other hand, they've got 2 scorers in double figures, and that's it.
Yep.
And Mabry's got 11. She's only had 7 attempts, and young Sammy Whitcomb's only got 3 points with 1 attempt.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see the offense as Jackie Young takes the seat go through a few different hands right now. See if they can get themselves back into this ball game.
Eisenbarger on the floor for Perth. So going with a real different look here. The Lynx out of this timeout. Gandini open, must hit, does hit. Important bucket from Emma Gandini. Really accurate shooter this season, 5 of 9 from the field heading into this game. Reduces the margin to 14. Griffin, hoping for Tapia. In the end, went to Sykes for Smart. Great ball movement. Smart rewards with the 2. This UC Caps team is humming in the West tonight. Mabry. Can she step up? She gets a foul.
Yeah.
And 1 to come.
Not sure what she's complaining about. She got the call. But it's Mabry's moment right now, the last couple of possessions. That was a real nice fake. She got the switch she wanted and then attacked Griffin.
Smart call for her second personal foul as Marina Mabry head to the free throw line, a 73% shooter this season. And brings it back to within 13. Missed 4 games in that moon boot with a foot injury. There's no structural damage, but that awkward inflammation made it a bit of a tough call for the Lynx as Brittany Sykes explodes to the rack and hits the 2. She's got 28. Whitcomb trying to kick it out. Good look for Eisenbarger, who's a great three-point shooter.
Ball being moved around a little bit more, a bit of penetration, opening things up. 4 from 13.
43% three-point shooter. Ash Eisenbarger reduces it to 12. Tapia. But she's in hot form from deep.
I just don't understand that defense. I just can't quite work out what they're in because there is nobody on it.
Eisenbarger again lurking ominously from on the arc. Whitcomb closely guarded here by Smart. Gets the screen from Eisenbarger. And then the hand in there from Tapia. And Brittany Sykes explodes through for 2 again.
Wow.
What a sight. What a player.
Oh, great hands by Tapia. Those wonderful hands. I was a little concerned about that matchup, but she, you know, Sammy Whitcomb's an elite passer, and to pick that off, that's pretty handy.
Handy set of numbers tonight for Brittany Sykes. 30 points to go with 5 boards and 8 assists. Terrific performance from
What about Kelsey Griffin?
Yeah.
She's heading for a triple-double. She's got 17 points, 9 rebounds and 7 assists.
4 steals as well for KG23. They're big names. Sykes and Griffin have really stepped up in the absence of a couple of key players, but Melbourne has made the most of her minutes with 18. Smart with 13.
This is huge. If they can hold off the next 4 minutes 18, it's definitely looking that way as they're almost 20 up. This is huge for them going to now, then rolling on to Adelaide, picking up a couple of other pieces in players, and then heading off to Melbourne. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but they could finish top if they win all.
Yeah, they could.
All 3, correct?
Yep, they could.
In tonight, and then Adelaide, and then Melbourne.
Yep.
I would never have thought that going into this game. I had them thinking, oh, maybe they'll finish 4th.
Because the Boomers are 10-5 at the moment, and the Lightning are 9-5. So if they hold on, they're 11-4 here, the Caps. Young, almost the alley-oop, paying off there, but just hasn't been her last quarter. 0 of 5 in this last quarter, Jackie Young, but she still has played a monster game.
That's a big play, especially when you've got no one on the rim on that miss.
Brittany Sykes has just controlled the tempo of this game superbly. As Tapia drives hard inside, she's such a good driver to the rack, Talia Tapia, and earns 2 free throws. And this game is now starting to get out of Perth's reach big time.
Oh, you never want to close out that way, giving the player the lane, and then the help wasn't there either. She was in the charge circle.
Second season with the Caps, Talia Tapia, after 8 seasons and 120 games with the Sydney Uni Flames. Had a wretched run with injury, fractured foot and surgery, and really nasty concussion in 2018 as well. But she's really become an important, integral member of this Caps roster. She gets a couple of free throws there to make it a 19-point lead for the Caps.
She's got such a high IQ and elite passing too. Ooh.
Young fouled, so now she will head to the line to try and increase that big points tally.
Well, she hasn't been there that often. It's only her second time to the line.
Wherever she's gone, Jackie Young around the world, she's brought success. She won a title at high school, was an NCAA champ, pick 1 to WNBA, Olympic gold.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Yeah. She was speaking to the West Australian newspaper recently and said, I want to check off every accomplishment on the list that I've got at the moment. That would certainly be a WNBL championship.
Yeah. Well, coming into this game, I thought they were the team. They were playing super, but this has really shocked me, to be honest.
It's a championship statement from the Caps, no doubt.
It is. Well, I shouldn't say it shocked me because Sydney beat them, but I just didn't expect that after the last 2 games against Adelaide.
Absolutely. Griffin for 3. Can't quite hit that one, but another offensive rebound from Britt Smart.
There's just no intensity. Look at the lack of intensity defensively from Perth. No urgency about them.
Do you think the cluster of games starting to catch up?
I was wondering that. Yeah. That's better. That's better because we saw that in the start of the second quarter.
Yep. We've hit some big points tallies in recent times. The UC Cats. This is almost a total flip from the last time these two sides played, because the Perth Lynx won that game 102-73, and at the moment it's 92-75 in favour of the Caps. Real big shift from a narrative perspective. With 3 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
Ooh, that was nice, fake.
Young.
Yeah, carry your hand on that.
Guarded closely by Melbourne. Tantalising matchup all night. Mabry goes to work on Griffin.
Oh, well.
Gets over Sykes just, but well off target. Gandini gives him a fresh 14 seconds. Garvin for 3. Still just 2 points for Darcy Garvin tonight.
Yeah, speaking of someone who's been quiet. Oh, that was excellent hands by the great Houdini.
Yes.
Gardini. He's known for a defence. Wow.
Something about out hands there of Jade Melbourne. 5 players in double-figure points tonight for the Caps.
Jade Melbourne just trying to deny Young the ball. Oh, what handles.
Mabry denied by Sykes.
Wow.
She's done it all tonight. Brittany Sykes is set for a block, and she saves it for right till the end.
Let's see that on the replay. Good handles, sneaking that through there. You know, get your fend-off hand up. If she's got a fend-off hand up, She would have been able to stop Sykes from getting to that.
Mabry takes a seat after a humbling experience there. And the Lynx are now having a look at some bench players. And long-range triple drops as well from the Perth Lynx.
Yeah, you're right. He's cleared his bench. He's waved the flag.
It was Clinch Hoykard who's come on and hit the triple. Mackenzie Clinch Hoykard playing her 6th game tonight.
Oh, big screen.
Tapaya for
wow.
Griffin. This would be sweet. She can't quite hit it, Kelsey Griffin. She's gone to the well a few times tonight. Yeah, opportunity now in this, with 2 minutes to play for this Lynx side to have a look at some of their young players.
You know what, though? The young players have done really well in the game. They've come on, the last few games I was watching, they've come on and just haven't missed a beat.
Yeah.
So, and that's what excited me about Perth, was that they run deep.
Taya Burrows hit a big bucket. She's got the ball now. She hit a big bucket against the Adelaide Lightning on Wednesday night.
I like Burrows.
And off here for Clark.
Well, that's better ball movement than we've seen from Perth all day. That wasn't so pretty, but that sort of ball movement, a bit of a zip in their step when they were cutting.
Speaking of zip, there's few faster players on the floor at the moment than Jade Melbourne.
Well, we said she had to have a big game, and she hasn't disappointed us.
Big night from Jade Melbourne.
It has been, but I think defensively she's been a bit of a pest and done her best against a very hot Young, who's probably cooled down the last quarter, but I thought Melbourne's done a super job tonight. Oh, look, full stop, the Cats have. You can't just pick out one player. It's been a wonderful team effort. Really great coaching. I thought the scouts, you know, what they've been able to get done defensively has been really good.
32 points that is now for Sykes. The numbers make for terrific reading if you're a Caps fan tonight.
And Paul Goris has mass subs as we see Smart, Griffin, and Sykes go out. Oh, it's just too easy.
Tapaya and Folling still out there. This is Mackenzie Clinch Hoykard, 2nd season with the Lynx. Came through the Basketball WA State Pathway program.
Can we get the cameraman to give a message down to Goris to make him put Griffin back on? Get a triple-double, please.
Yeah, she needs three assists in 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. Ain't gonna happen.
What a game she's played, though.
Yeah,
Kelsey
absolute.
Griffin.
Captain's not.
Cabillo trying to find a teammate. Always looking busy on the floor, Abby Cabillo. Roll, gets it back for Melbourne, who has 6 to shoot. He's going to put up a long-range 3, and all oxygen's about the only thing she's done wrong tonight, Jade Melbourne.
Wow, and that wasn't even so wrong because it took a couple of seconds extra off the clock as it went so high.
Right.
Oh, wow, this is a massive win. And, you know, dare I say maybe a little bit of a weakness for Perth in the mental side of things.
A championship statement tonight from the UC Capitals. They've had bigger scores this season, but that is one of the most impressive performances by any team so far this season. Without 3 of their starting players, the Capitals defeat the top of the table Lynx, humble the top of the table Lynx, 96-80 in a terrific performance, team-orientated performance, well-coached performance, led by Brittany Sykes with 32. Michelle Timms, that is one heck of a game from these UC Caps.
Yeah, well, I've got my notes and I'll stick to them because I think they were right. They controlled the tempo. They won the boards. And the other thing which was really just so important for them was to not get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So, tick, 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 in my opinion.
They regather in the arc now by Kelsey Griffin. It is a predominantly younger team with Bunton, Ruth and Wilson out tonight. So Kelsey Griffin is leading a younger team, and she led by example tonight. 17 points, 11 rebounds for KG. 23 was her 5th double-double of her 2022 campaign.
On the flip side, the spiritual leader and the heart and soul for Perth in young Sammy Whitcomb was incredibly quiet tonight with only 3 points, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. She had 4 assists and 3 boards, but very quiet.
As we have a look at some of the match highlights, and
oh, there she is.
Gosh, our people putting together our replays tonight were not short of
highlights. Yeah, true that.
We had so many terrific moments. Jackie Young putting up 36 points at game high from her. But just the amount of contributors and from the Caps and the ball movement as well. It was just a pleasure to watch the Caps in action tonight, Timsy.
No, it sure was. Just the whole game plan was, the coaches are going to be going back, having a quiet red tonight, I think, and a well-deserved
and
celebration.
Our opposition coach is Guy Malloy and Chris Lucas, the coach of the Boomers and the Lightning. Are they looking closely at this performance from the Caps and what they were able to do on the Perth Lynx?
100%. You're looking at the ways they, went about taking care of business, what they did defensively. Of course, you'd be sitting back looking at what you can add. Well, that was a good idea defensively. Yep. I'm going to put that in my back pocket. Maybe we can defend it. Yeah. So, from a coaching perspective, for sure, there's lots of lessons being learnt by the coaches who are sitting back at home tonight.
Well, some of the Caps players really had to stand up tonight in the absence of some stars, and Jade Melbourne was certainly one of them, and Jade has been good enough to join us courtside from the Bendat Basketball Centre. Jade, congratulations on a terrific performance tonight. What was the attitude coming in to this game? Because as I mentioned, no Ruth, we know she's out for the rest of the season, no Wilson and no Bunton. So was there a real emphasis tonight for the whole team to really lift with some key personnel out?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game. Perth are one of the best teams in the league, and they've been the benchmark all season. So to come out tonight, we knew we were undermanned. But this whole year, we've been emphasising that we go 10 deep, we go 12 deep. So that's what we had to do tonight. When people had their opportunity to stand up, they did, and couldn't be prouder of the girls. It was such a great team effort, and it was really good to come out with a win.
She had a front seat to the Brittany Sykes show tonight. What was that like?
I mean, she's a beast, isn't she? I know. It's so fun to watch her. Sometimes you get caught watching her and you're her teammate. So, but she's great. She puts on a show every game. She gives 100%, and it's so good that she's on my team and I'm not having to play against her because she drives me nuts at training. So it's so good to have her on our team. We love everything she does for us.
And at the other end as well, you had Brittany Sykes with a terrific performance, but Jackie Young as well, putting on an absolute show. She had 36. How good is it? Being a young Australian player in the WNBL as well, and you see these two imports just going at it, putting on a great offensive display.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some of the best guard imports in the league. They're unbelievable what they can do, and Jackie Young's one of them. She had an unbelievable performance and a real challenge to guard. So, yeah, that was something that I got assigned to, and it was a tough matchup. She's a great player. But credit to the team. We locked into our defensive scout, and, yeah, we made sure we took care of all the individual matchups. And obviously she had a great night, but to keep them to, I guess, 80, I mean, they've been shooting big numbers all year, so we couldn't be prouder, and it was a great defensive effort.
Just one on you personally as well. I suppose it's been tough to get minutes in this Caps team when you consider Britt Smart and Talia Tapea are playing a similar position to you. Did you really come into this game wanting to make the most of your minutes tonight?
Yeah, as I said before, we go 12 deep, so every game, I've just got to grab my opportunity when I can, and I can't complain. They're playing awesome. Britt Smart's shooting 40% from the three, and so is Talia Tapea, so I can't complain. They're doing a great job, and as long as we're winning, I don't care how many minutes I play, as long as when I come in, I just give my best effort, and that's the emphasis we have on this team, and that's the culture we build. So, yeah, couldn't be prouder of the team's effort again, and everyone stood up tonight.
And last one, Jade, how big and how significant is this win, considering how undermanned you were? Top of the table, just knocked over the top of the table Lynx on their home floor. It's a hard place to win basketball games. How big is this for you guys?
Yeah, it's massive. We knew we had a really tough back half of the season. We had this game, and now we've got Adelaide and Boomers, so probably two other teams are going to finish in the top four. And it's a really good chance for us to get used to finals. We're always on the road for finals, and you're playing games with quick back-to-backs and transitions. So it's a really good test for us, and, to start that three-game kind of away game stretch with a big win. Yeah, as I said before, couldn't be proud of the group, and we're just ready to go for the next one now.
Jay, congratulations on a great performance, both from you and from the team as well, and good luck for the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
She's a young star, Jade Melbourne. She had 20 points herself tonight and was absolutely outstanding, and she speaks superbly. She's a rising star of Aussie hoops. Oh. Let's have a look at some of the key numbers as well. And the three-point percentage sort of evened up in the end. But there's not too much differential on the stat sheet that really stands out. They were just able to get up even, there was more field goal attempts from the Perth Lynx in the end. But they were just able to get the job done in the end, the Caps. And that rebound count.
Yeah.
Was so important. They won that rebound count and it paid dividends.
Oh, look at the assists as well. There weren't too many assists going in Perth's way, that's for sure.
The team chemistry from the UC Capitals tonight was awesome. So they moved to the top of the table with that victory, the Caps.
That's huge.
11-4 they are now heading into games against the Adelaide Lightning and the Melbourne Boomers as well. It's such a confidence booster for the UC Caps as well, and they'll attack those games with plenty of confidence.
Well, you know what? With Paul Goris's announcement saying that he's, retiring too, that must have had a lot of weight as well this week. And, although they had their backs against the wall, that adds to the emotion of wanting to get the win and how important this season is to them now. So this game shocked me, got to say.
Yeah.
It has shocked me.
I hope you had fun, though, Timsy, doing it.
Oh, that was great.
It's good to have you back.
Best seat in the house.
Great to have Michelle Timms back on the WNBL coverage tonight, and we saw a cracker between the UC Caps and the Perth Lynx. On behalf of Michelle Timms and the entire hard-working team, this is Ben Waterworth signing off from our coverage in the Bendat Basketball Centre, where the UC Caps made a serious championship statement with a 96-80 win over the Perth Lynx. Good night.